Hi everyone, I'm Duncan. I lead products and engineering for Dentally. Welcome to Dentally Presents Your Next Chapter. I'm so grateful to have you all joining us here today for our very first product-focused online event. Our teams have been hard at work improving Dentally, so we've created this brand new event to enable us to share with you everything we've been building and give you a proper look at the tools and features that have launched recently or will be coming soon. And all with one goal, making life in practice that little bit easier. I'm so excited and we've got a lot to cover today, so stay tuned so you don't miss a thing. Without further ado, let's dive straight into our Spring 2026 update. We know that running a modern dental practice is hard work, balancing exceptional patient care with practice administration. We speak to practices like yours all the time, and we hear the same messages again and again. You want to focus more of your time on your patients, but too often time gets swallowed up by repetitive tasks, completing admin instead of spending time with the people that you're there to care for, or working late into the night in front of a computer screen instead of relaxing with your family and friends. And unfortunately, a big contributor to why that happens is how fragmented things can feel, jumping between systems, repeating the same tasks, re-entering information, all while trying to keep your team aligned. It's time you simply shouldn't be losing. Over time, that builds up to more pressure, more stress, and longer days for you and the team. So the question we've been focused on is, how do we change that? How do we take that pressure away and give you your time back? I'm sorry to say that Dentally can't add more hours to the day, but we can simplify the time that's there already by reducing the manual work, by connecting the tools that you rely on, and making the everyday tasks that slow you down feel effortless. So that's what we've been working on. Over the past few months, our development team has been spending a lot of time in practices, getting into the detail of all the tasks that cause friction, understanding the purpose of each one, and coming up with tools that will make a tangible difference. And what's become really clear is that too much of your time is spent working around your software instead of the software working for you. Software should make your job easier and remove the burden of admin, not add to it. So that's a key focus for us today. So the team and I have been evaluating what we believe will make the biggest difference, which has led us to focus on some critical themes. Automating the things that eat up your time, reducing the amount of manual admin across your team, and making workflows simpler and more connected. That means improving not just Dentally itself, but how it connects to the wider dental ecosystem, the tools that you already use to underpin how your practice operates. So let's dive in and take a look at what that actually looks like in practice. I'm delighted to be joined by some of our product managers who will walk you through our latest updates, starting with Amy, who's going to share some improvements we've made in the clinical space.
Hi, I'm Amy, one of the product managers here at Dentally. If you're finishing your day catching up on notes, staying late to write up appointments, or just feeling like admin never ends, then this one is hopefully for you. One of the things we hear most from practices is that clinical note-taking eats up a huge chunk of their day. And it's not just the writing, it's the mental load of holding everything in your head until you get a moment to type it up. So that's exactly what our built-in AI notes are designed to solve. And I want to show you how it works because it's generally one of those things that once you've used it, you won't want to go back. AI Notes lives right inside the clinical sidebar in Dentally. So it's there when you need it without breaking your workflow. No switching tabs, no separate tools. It's just part of how you work. One of the things I love about this is that it works with your existing note templates. You're not starting from scratch or learning a new structure. The AI outputs directly into the format you already use. Your templates, your structure, just with a lot less effort to fill them in. So how do you actually capture the information? So you've got two options, and it's completely up to you what feels most natural. So if you or your nurse jots down rough notes during the appointment, you can type those straight in. So no need to write them up properly, just the key points are enough. Or you can dictate after the appointment. Just type through what happened and talk through what happened, and Dentally captures it. And dictating is meant to be 3 times faster than typing. So even a quick verbal rundown takes a few seconds rather than minutes. So either way, you're putting in the minimum and getting a fully structured note out the other side. Once you've captured what you need, you can hit generate summary. And this is where the magic happens. The AI takes what you've said or typed and creates a fully structured note right inside your template. It's not a rough draft, it's ready to review, and in most cases, ready to go. But if you do want to make changes, it's simple. Just edit your input and generate again. You're always in full control of the final output. Once you're happy, review your note, copy it across, and save it straight into your treatment item. Your clinical record is done. No typing up later, no relying on memory at the end of a busy day. So think about what that means in a day. If you're saving even a few minutes per patient, and for a lot of practices, it's even more than that, across 10 or 15 appointments, that's hours back in your week. Those hours could mean seeing more patients, finishing on time, or just not thinking about work when you get home. And when you're not running on empty from late nights catching up on admin, you show up differently for your patients. More energy, more focus, better conversations. That's the kind of care that builds trust. And trust is what drives treatment acceptance. It's one of those changes that sounds small on paper, but has a real ripple effect on your day, your patients, and your practice. And we're not stopping there. We're already working on the next phase of this, ambient listening, which will let you record full appointments, so you never have to rely on remembering what was said. Alongside that, we're building a more integrated note experience that ties everything together even more seamlessly. So Duncan's going to show you a little bit more later, but I wanted to let you know it's coming because it's really exciting. So that's AI Notes, available to you now and getting even better. Now I'm going to hand over to Hansa, who is going to talk about a short notice filler.
Hi everyone, my name is Hansa Rastogi and I'm a senior product manager at Dentally. Today I want to show you the short notice filler, a feature that is now live in your diary. Last minute gaps cost practices money and they put a real pressure on reception, who have to work through a call list, leave voicemails and hope that someone can come in. The short notice filler is built to take that pressure away. It starts at the booking stage. If a patient would be happy to come in sooner if something opens up, then you can add them to the short notice list right there and then when you're booking their appointment as part of the same booking flow that you already use. There's no separate spreadsheet to maintain, no sticky note system, just a simple step in a normal booking. The list then builds quietly in the background as your team does what they do every day. When a gap comes up, Dentally does the matching for you. It checks who fits the slot, who has valid contact details, and whether lab work is in order. And rather than giving you a long list to work through, you only see patients who are actually a good fit for that specific gap. From the calendar, open short notice filler, it's the jigsaw icon, and you get one view of the next 5 days. How many patients are on your short notice list, how many gaps you have coming up, and how many of those are ready to fill right now are displayed right there. You can also filter by practitioner, so nothing gets buried in a busy diary. Teams tell us that being able to see what is coming is genuinely valuable, rather than just feeling it as the cancellations come in with no time to act. When you choose to fill a slot, the shortlist is already filtered. You can see who is appropriate for that gap and move straight into action. You can preview the message that is sent out, and before you send it, after you send it, Dentally will contact the patients one by one in a staggered way, every 5 minutes. The first person to reply gets the slot, and if someone responds too late, they are told that they're still on the list for the next opportunity. Once you've clicked send SMS, you're done. The automation runs in the background while you carry on with your day. You're not waiting by the phone. You don't need to manually chase. When a patient accepts, the diary updates to show their appointment in that slot. You can see it happen in Dentally where you already work, so there's nothing to chase down. While responses are coming in, the diary makes it clear that the slot is in play. Hover over the placeholder and you can see the SMS automation activity on that appointment. And you can still book over it manually if you need to. And that makes sure that as a patient comes in and they want the slot, they can take it and you remain in control. There you go. The slot's filled. The diary shows it and there was no phone call needed. If you want to understand the impact over time, such as how many appointments you have filled or how many patients are on the short notice list, the appointments report lets you filter to bookings made. When you go into the appointments report, you can see exactly how much chair time has been filled by the short notice filler. And you can do it all in one place from the report that you already use, just using the additional added to or booked by short notice list filter. The short notice filler takes away phone work, chasing, and the mental load off of your team so that they can focus on the patients that are in the room. The teams who use it tell us that it makes a real difference for them and to their workload and to their team morale. It's been described as a game changer, so we're really excited to use it. That's it for the short notice filler. Drop any questions in the chat, and now I'm going to hand over to Lachlan.
Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Lachlan Sidhu. I'm the product manager here for patient experience at Dentally, and today I'm really excited to talk to you about Kiosk, which is our new feature designed to make patient check-in faster for patients and much less time consuming for busy reception teams. And so, as many of you already know, and I remember from my time in practice, that reception teams are constantly switching between tasks, whether that's welcoming patients, answering calls, managing the diary. And one of the most repetitive parts of their day-to-day is simply just managing patient arrivals. And so we built Kiosk to remove that friction and to save reception time and free up reception teams to focus on much higher value tasks. And so Kiosk lives within Dentally Portal. We've designed it to be super easy to set up. And there's really just 3 key parts to getting started, which is getting a tablet, pairing that tablet, and then mounting it on a stand. And so pairing is quick and straightforward. It's similar to the same method as for practices already using Concierge. And this means you can get it up and running quickly without introducing any new complexity for your teams. And so once you select Kiosk mode, that device becomes dedicated for patient check-in. And the aim of Kiosk is that it becomes a triage tool for receptionists. It helps, routine patients who are on time and don't have any forms. They can come in, they can check in, and they can sit down straight away. But we also then signpost patients who need more support to go to reception. One of the things that I'm really excited about is that we wanted to give practices flexibility. So you can choose how late a patient can be and still self-check-in. And on top of that, you can also customize the message they see after patients check in successfully. This means that Kiosk can fit around your practice or kind of the space of your reception. So if the waiting room is around the corner, you can include that in there as well. And so from the patient perspective, the experience is intentionally simple. They just touch the screen to start, and there's no need to kind of wait traditionally, to walk up to reception to see if anyone's free, just to confirm they've arrived. And so the patient just enters a few basic details, So Kiosk can identify them quickly and securely, and it's designed to be really fast and intuitive, and so it doesn't need any kind of help from others to get set up. And if the patient is on time and there's nothing else they need to do, they can be checked in straight away and invited to take a seat. And we really want to improve that patient experience by reducing that waiting time, but also removes that kind of repeated interruption for reception teams and that constant context switching that they have to manage as well. And so this is where Kiosk continues to really think about it as a triage tool. So if someone's late or if they need to do their forms, they can be directed to reception instead. So Kiosk works really well alongside concierge. So if a patient still needs to do their medical history or their NHS forms, Kiosk knows if they've done that before they check in. And so we can signpost them to reception. So the reception teams can then support them with doing that next step. So it's really important to think about Kiosk and concierge as part of a single journey for patients when they arrive into practice. So Kiosk, it's a triage tool for your reception teams. It saves them time and it really improves that patient experience by making their arrival much more seamless, much smoother and much quicker. And I really believe it takes one of the most repetitive jobs in reception teams day to day and makes it much simpler. And so we've been really excited by the response we've seen from practices so far. And at kind of well set up sites, we're seeing about 2 reception days a month being saved. That's being constantly reinvested back into creating that world-class patient experience that we are trying to support here at Dentally. But please feel free to ask any questions in the chat. And I'm going to hand it over now to my colleague Fran, who will be talking to you about family claiming. Have a lovely rest of your day.
Hi everyone, I'm Fran. I'm one of the product managers here at Dentally. Today I want to talk to you about family claiming for Australia, a feature we've built to take one of the most repetitive parts of the front desk workflow and make it genuinely effortless. So picture you're at the end of a family appointment. You have a parent and 2 kids. They've all been seen, and now you've got a queue forming at the front desk while you work through each of their claims one by one. You submit one, switch to the next patient, fill in the details, submit again, and by the time you're done, you've done the same task 3 or 4 times over now. It's not super complicated, but it's just really, really slow. And it breaks your flow at exactly the moment you want to be focused on your patients. With family claiming, you can now send a single submission for the entire family in one action. You stay in one place, select the invoices you want to claim for, fill in any missing details, and then submit. That's it. No switching between patient records and no sending claims off one by one while everyone waits. It works hand in hand with our family accounts feature too, so you get a clear, all-in-one view of the whole family's finances and claims in a single screen. As long as your family members are linked in Dentally, everything comes together automatically. Now, even though it feels like one single action, we're actually handling each claim individually behind the scenes. And that really matters, because if one claim has an issue, it doesn't hold up the rest of the family. You can just fix that one claim and resubmit it. No reversals for the entire family, no starting over, just a quick fix for that patient and you're done. And we did that by design. So we know that some systems bundle the whole family into one combined claim, which sounds simple, but means one error can take down the entire submission, and we didn't want that. Keeping claims separate gives you more control and far fewer headaches. Family claiming also works across multiple practitioners. So even if one family member saw one dentist and another saw a different one, you can still submit everything together in the same single action. You don't need to group appointments or worry about who treated who. Dentally handles that automatically. So what family claiming really does is take a task that used to be repetitive and stop-start and turn it into something smooth and seamless. You can see exactly where each claim is in a glance, in real time, so nothing slips through the cracks. And most importantly, it means less time on admin, less time keeping patients waiting, and more time focused on what actually matters, delivering great care. It fits right into how you already work and makes a real difference to how your day can feel. And now I'm going to pass to Clayton, who will be talking about Ministry of Health claiming.
Hi there, I'm Clayton Newell, the product lead for Australia and New Zealand at Dentally. Last year, we were super excited to launch Dentally into the New Zealand market. It was the first AI-enabled, cloud-based PMS in that region, and it's been amazing watching it grow. One of the things we wanted to also do when we launched that product was really transform the Ministry of Health claims process. Our research was telling us the customers were finding it slow and admin heavy, and we want to automate the process as much as we could to make it easier for practices. I'm going to show you right now how that works. So we know that when a practitioner sees a patient, they raise a treatment plan. That treatment plan will now flow through automatically to the Ministry of Health claims management system. To access that system, you click on the shield icon on the left-hand sidebar menu in Dentally. That'll open up the Ministry of Health claims system and it will drop you into the treatment reports tab. In that screen, you'll see a bunch of lines. We call them ITRs or individual treatment reports. And they're the reports that you will select so you can process the claim with the Ministry of Health. Once you've selected the lines that you want to process, you'll then create and submit those lines. You'll then be presented with a preview of that claim so you can review that and make any edits or changes as you need to, and then you'll submit that claim. That then goes to the Ministry of Health. They will ingest that into their system and they will process that claim. At your end, you then manage the claim through the Ministry of Health claims management system. The way that is done is by updating the status as the status changes. You can use the filters at the top of the screen and they will allow you to access certain information so you can process your claims, you can make updates, you can track claims, you can make adjustments to the costs in there, and you can update the status as the claim has been processed. You can go through all the way through from the claim to the approval or the rejection. You also have the ability to submit claims with prior approval. These are claims that the Ministry of Health gives you a number for, so it's a straight through process, makes the claim much faster. You just have to enter the approval number and that prior approval claim will go straight through to the Ministry of Health. Our feedback is that practices have been saving time, it's much faster, and it's definitely the best system in the market to manage Ministry of Health claims. The New Zealand dev team did an awesome job on this. So that's it. It's pretty simple, but a really valuable feature. Leave your questions in the chat and I'm going to hand it over to the next speaker. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Matt and I'm the Dentally product lead in Canada. I'm excited to share some recent improvements that we've made to Dentally's monthly accounts report. These updates provide a new level of visibility and confidence in your practice financials. Accurate month-end reporting is critical for dental practices. It ensures your production and collection numbers are accurate, helps you track provider performance, and gives you access to essential data your accounting team needs to help manage your business. We recently improved the monthly accounts report by adding a transaction-level view that provides a full breakdown of the transactions that make up your monthly totals. To see this in action, navigate to Reports, then select Monthly Accounts under the Financial category. Within the report, you can now hover over and select total amounts, such as charged treatment, to see a line-by-line breakdown of every transaction that makes up that amount. This data can be viewed at the practice or provider level, making it easy to track financial performance for the period. From the transaction view, you can click directly into items like invoices to see even more detail. This allows you to move seamlessly from summary to specific data with a single click. The report Also provides centralized visibility into discounts and adjustments. Simply select the total you want to view to see a breakdown of all adjustments for that period. This makes it much easier to identify and explain variance and help you understand your practice's complete financial picture. Within the report, you can easily move from current month to date to previous months. All past months lock automatically at the end of the period, creating an immutable financial record for your practice. To switch views, simply select a month that you want at the top of the report. We've also improved the export options, making printing and sharing more efficient. You can click Export to PDF to download a full report summary or export transaction level data as a CSV from the transaction view. These files are ready to share with your accounting team as needed. I hope you enjoyed this quick tour of Dentally monthly account reports and some of the improvements that we've made recently. If you have any questions, please share them via chat. Thank you. Back to you, Duncan.
I'd like to say a huge thank you to the team for walking through some great new features for Dentally. I hope you're as excited by what you've seen as we are. We believe this represents a big step forward, but at the same time, it's just the beginning of what we're building. Now, let's talk some more about some of the things we're working on next. Everything comes back to the same goal, giving you more time back, reducing the pressure on your team and making your day simpler. One area we're continuing to invest is in automating clinical notes. That's why we're excited to introduce ambient listening and appointment level notes. The goal here is simple: make note-taking effortless, so you're not spending time talking at a computer when you could be with your patient. Instead of splitting your attention between your patient and the screen, you can stay fully present in the conversation. Dentally listens securely in the background, captures a transcript of the conversation, and structures your clinical notes automatically. And with clinical notes now moving to the appointment level, rather than being attached to an individual treatment item, your records stay clear, complete, and consistent. Creating and accessing notes is now simpler than it's ever been. These changes are all about reducing the mental load that builds up across the day. No more catching up on a day's worth of notes after your last patient leaves. You finish your final appointment and actually finish your day. Another area we've been focused on is something we hear often. Right now, setting up Dentally Portal and your appointment book sit separately in two different tools, which means extra steps, more switching between tools, and more time spent managing things that should just work together. So we're bringing it directly into Dentally. One place to manage your whole booking experience, your appointment reasons, your bookable services, everything, all within the same system that your team is already in every day. Alongside this, we will be improving the patient experience when booking appointments online to make it as simple and quick as possible to find the right appointment, both for them and for your practice. The final area to talk about today that we've been focused on is making it easier to discover and get real value from the tools and integrations that exist alongside Dentally. We already have a wide range of brilliant partners, but they're not always easy to find and set up. So we're bringing everything together into a single partner marketplace right inside Dentally. This gives you one place to explore everything that's available to you, understand what each integration offers, and get set up quickly. Whether you're looking for patient communication tools, AI imaging tools, practice analytics, or other specialist services, it's all there. The goal is to help you find what will help your practice and start getting value from it quicker. Thank you so much for joining us today. For those who joined us live, it genuinely means a lot, and we really appreciate you taking the time. For anyone watching later, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Please drop them in the comments below. Everything you've seen today is part of a bigger shift in how Dentally works. Simplifying your day-to-day, connecting the tools and the people in your practice, and giving you more time back to focus on your patients. If you'd like to get more involved in what we're building, you can scan the QR codes on screen or follow the links below. Whether that's signing up to one of our beta programs to help shape what's coming next, or joining us at a future event to meet the team in person and see even more of what's ahead. We've got a full calendar of events coming up, from ODA in Toronto in early May, to Disrupt Dental in Melbourne on the 15th of May, and Dentally Live in London at the end of June, and we'd love to have you with us. Thanks again for joining, and we'll see you in your next chapter.